Part 1. The adventure begins. Once upon a time, in a small town, there lived a young man named Alex. Alex loved to travel. He always dreamed of visiting new countries and learning about different cultures. One day, he decided to make his dream come true. He packed his bags and bought a ticket to London, a city he always wanted to see. Alex knew some English, but was still learning. He was a bit nervous about speaking English in a big city like London. But he was also excited. He knew this trip would help him improve his English skills. On the day of his flight, Alex woke up early. He felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. He said goodbye to his family and headed to the airport. At the airport, he checked in his luggage and went through security. Everything went smoothly until he reached the gate. "Excuse me," he said to the airline staff. "Is this the right gate for the flight to London?" The staff member smiled and replied, "Yes, this is the correct gate. Have a great flight." Alex felt relieved. He thanked the staff and waited for his flight. Soon, it was time to board the plane. He found his seat and settled in. As the plane took off, Alex looked out the window and watched his hometown disappear below. He was on his way to a new adventure. After a long flight, the plane landed in London. Alex was tired but excited. He collected his luggage and headed to the exit. As he stepped outside, he felt the cool London air and saw the bustling city around him. He took a deep breath and smiled. He was ready to explore. But first, he needed to find his hotel. He had booked a room online, but he wasn't sure how to get there. He saw a taxi stand and decided to ask for help. "Hello," he said to the taxi driver. "Can you take me to this address?" He showed the driver the hotel address on his phone. The driver nodded and said, "Sure, hop in." Alex got into the taxi and watched the city pass by as they drove. Tall buildings, red buses, and people speaking English everywhere. It was all so new and exciting for him. When they reached the hotel, Alex paid the driver and thanked him. He walked into the hotel and approached the reception desk. "Hello, I have a reservation," he said to the receptionist. The receptionist smiled and asked for his name. After checking the computer, she said, "Welcome, Alex. Your room is ready. Here is your key. Enjoy your stay." Alex thanked her and went to his room. He unpacked his bags and decided to rest for a while. But soon, his excitement got the better of him, and he decided to go out and explore the city. He walked around the streets, looking at the shops and cafes. He decided to try some local food, so he went into a small cafe. "Hello, what would you like to order?" the waiter asked. Alex looked at the menu and said, "I'd like a sandwich and a cup of tea, please." The waiter nodded and brought him his order. Alex enjoyed his meal and felt proud of himself for using English to order food. After eating, he continued his walk. He visited famous places like Big Ben and the Tower of London. Everywhere he went, he tried to use his English. Sometimes it was difficult to understand people, but he didn't give up. He asked for directions, bought tickets, and even made small talk with other tourists. As the day turned into evening, Alex felt tired but happy. He had learned a lot and had many new experiences. He went back to his hotel and lay down on his bed, thinking about all the things he had seen and done. Before falling asleep, he promised himself that he would keep practicing his English every day. He knew that the more he used it, the better he would get. And he couldn't wait to see what the next day would bring. This is the end of part 1. In part 2, Alex will face more challenges and adventures in London. He will meet new people and learn even more about the English language. Part 2. New friends and new challenges. The next morning, Alex woke up feeling refreshed and ready for another day of adventure in London. He had a list of places he wanted to visit, and he was excited to practice his English even more. After a quick breakfast at the hotel, he set off to explore. His first stop was the British Museum. As he walked through the grand entrance, he was amazed by the beautiful architecture and the vast collection of artifacts. He joined a guided tour, where the guide explained the history of many interesting items. During the tour, Alex noticed a girl about his age who looked lost. She was holding a map and seemed unsure of where to go. Alex decided to help her. "Hi, do you need help?" he asked. The girl looked relieved and smiled. "Yes, please. I'm trying to find the Egyptian exhibit, but I can't figure out this map." Alex looked at her map and said, "I think it's this way. Let's go together." As they walked, they introduced themselves. The girl's name was Maria, and she was from Spain. She was also in London to improve her English. "I'm so glad I met you," Maria said. "It's nice to have someone to explore with," Alex agreed. They found the Egyptian exhibit and marveled at the ancient artifacts together. After the museum, they decided to visit other famous landmarks. They went to Buckingham Palace, where they watched the changing of the guard ceremony. Then they strolled through Hyde Park, enjoying the beautiful scenery. As they walked, they practiced their English by talking about their countries, their families, and their favorite things. Alex learned a lot of new words and phrases from Maria, and she learned from him too. They laughed a lot and took many pictures. In the afternoon, they decided to have lunch at a local pub. They found a cozy place with traditional British food. When the waiter came to take their order, Alex felt confident. "I'll have fish and chips, please," he said. Maria smiled and ordered the same. They enjoyed their meal and continued to practice their English. They talked about their plans for the rest of their stay in London. Maria suggested they visit the London Eye, the giant Ferris wheel on the south bank of the River Thames. "That sounds great," Alex said. "Let's go." They made their way to the London Eye and bought tickets. As they waited in line, Alex felt a bit nervous. He had never been on such a big Ferris wheel before, but Maria reassured him. "It will be fun. The view from the top is amazing," she said. When it was their turn, they stepped into the capsule and began the slow ascent. As they climbed higher, they could see the whole city spread out below them. Big Ben, the Houses of Parliament, the River Thames. It was all so beautiful. Alex and Maria took lots of photos and enjoyed the breathtaking view. When the ride was over, they felt happy and excited about their day. In the evening, they decided to go to a local market. They visited Camden Market, a lively place with lots of shops and food stalls. They browsed the stalls, bought souvenirs, and tried different kinds of street food. Alex loved the energy of the market and the chance to practice his English with the vendors. As the night grew darker, Alex and Maria decided to head back to their hotels. They exchanged phone numbers and promised to meet again the next day. Alex felt grateful for the new friend he had made and the fun day they had shared. Back at his hotel, Alex reflected on his day. He felt more confident in his English skills and proud of himself for all the new things he had tried. He knew that this trip was helping him grow, not just in his language skills, but also in his confidence and independence. The next morning, Alex and Maria met again. They decided to visit the famous West End to watch a musical. They bought tickets to see The Lion King and were both excited. The theater was grand, and the show was spectacular. The songs, the costumes, the acting, everything was amazing. Alex was especially happy because he could understand most of the dialogue and lyrics. After the show, they went for a walk along the River Thames. They talked about their favorite parts of the musical and shared more about their lives back home. Alex felt a strong connection with Maria. They both loved traveling and learning new things. As they walked, they noticed a crowd gathered around a street performer. He was juggling and doing magic tricks. Alex and Maria watched, fascinated. The performer asked for volunteers, and Maria nudged Alex. "Go on, it'll be fun," she said. Alex hesitated, but decided to give it a try. He walked up and joined the performer, who handed him a set of juggling balls. The performer showed him what to do, and Alex tried his best. The crowd cheered, and Alex felt a rush of excitement. He laughed and enjoyed the moment. After the performance, Alex and Maria continued their walk. They talked about how important it is to try new things and step out of their comfort zones. Alex felt proud of himself for taking that step. As the sun began to set, they found a quiet spot by the river and sat down. They talked about their dreams and plans for the future. Maria wanted to become an English teacher, and Alex dreamed of traveling the world and writing about his experiences. "You should write about this trip," Maria said. "It would make a great story." Alex smiled. "I think I will." Their conversation flowed easily, and Alex felt happy to have met someone who understood him so well. He knew that this trip had given him more than just improved English skills. It had given him a new friend and wonderful memories. When it was time to say goodbye, Alex and Maria hugged and promised to stay in touch. Alex felt a bit sad to part ways, but also grateful for the amazing experiences they had shared. Back at his hotel, Alex started writing about his adventures in London. He wrote about the places he had visited, the people he had met, and the challenges he had overcome. He wrote about how using English had helped him in so many ways, and how it had given him the confidence to try new things. As he finished his story, he felt a sense of accomplishment. This trip had been more than he had ever imagined. It had been a journey of learning, growth, and friendship. Alex knew that this was just the beginning of his adventures. He couldn't wait to travel to more places, meet new people, and continue improving his English. He knew that every new experience would bring more stories to tell. And so, with a heart full of memories and a mind full of dreams, Alex looked forward to his next adventure. He knew that no matter where he went, he would always carry the lessons he had learned and the friends he had made on this incredible journey. This is the end of part 2. Thank you for listening, and remember to keep practicing your English and exploring the world around you.